This is Def showing up to Peter's door to take him.
Look, Def, you made a mistake. I'm not really supposed to be dead.
Oh, I made a mistake, huh? Then what do you call this?
Peter, is that your handwriting?
How'd you get that?
And this is Peter's own funeral.
Grandma got run over by a reindeer, walking home from our house Christmas Eve.
You would think that despite the fat man having the brain of a goldfish, he would at least be smart enough to keep himself alive. But he has died more times than a video game character with unlimited respawns. So today, we are running through all the times Peter Griffin died in Family Guy. Starting with the time Stewie shot him in the eye with an arrow. There is absolutely zero surprise that the evil genius baby is the first murderer on today's list. It was in the episode Throw It Away in Season 17. Lois was having a mental breakdown because of how cluttered the house was. So she told everyone to throw all their junk away. Scratch that, she made them throw everything away.
Well, that does it. I got rid of all the clutter. I made order out of chaos, and it's beautiful.
But before that, everyone was having a hard time letting their things go. So when Peter went to Stewie's room to check on his progress, Stewie shot him in the face with an arrow in an attempt to protect his ribbons.
My ribbons! Oh! I just wanted to know if I could borrow a ribbon. Oh.
But that is one of the milder cases, because Peter Griffin has managed to get himself killed by a colony of ants. Did I say colony? I meant 2 ants. He decided to play gladiators with the ants, telling them to fight for their freedom and all that stuff. But the ants did not want to be bossed around, so they somehow... You know what? See for yourself.
Oh my God! I told you not to play God with those ants!
And that is not the only time Peter Griffin was killed by animals. There was the time a lobster was trying to drown his face in a pot of boiling water.
Stop! You're hurting him!
No, that's just air escaping. They can't feel anything.
He did not die that time, I think. There is also his fight with the giant chicken. He also survived that day, fortunately. But in the episode Dearly Deported, Peter got his throat slit by a mongoose, apparently. Quagmire stole some eggs from a mongoose and handed them over to Peter to keep an eye on them. Of course, Peter, being Peter, didn't think twice about the consequences of holding stolen mongoose eggs. He just took them, probably thinking, what's the worst that could happen? Well, the worst happened when Mama Mongoose came looking for her babies. A very smart mama and Papa Mongoose.
Mongoose in a while.
We're having sloppy joes.
Yeah, I heard. Please say you got the onion bun.
We're having sloppy joes.
Mongoose! Mongoose!
Speaking of Quagmire, he has killed Peter too. I know, Quagmire is not that kind of guy, right? Well, in the episode Brian's a Bad Father, Peter shot Quagmire in the arm and refused to take the blame. This messes up his relationship with Quagmire. So he tells Quagmire to shoot him back in the arm so that they can be friends again. It turned into a tussle between the two of them. Joe ended up shooting Peter's arm to end the whole thing.
Leave him here without being
Look,
shot!
I was trying to do the
I'm
decent
putting that
thing
bullet in your
like
arm,
you see in a
Peter.
movie. Ah, son of a bitch!
It's over. We're all friends again.
What the hell?
Quagmire was not happy, though. He wanted to be the one to put a bullet in Peter's arm. So when Peter wasn't looking, he allowed his intrusive thoughts to get the better of him.
He shot me. I mean, if we're doing things fair here, then...
All right, we're good.
Peter has also died many, many times by the hands of his own family members. In the episode Hefty Shades of Grey, Peter's hair turns white after a ghost hunting adventure, and has somehow made him become a fake news reporter. When the local news Tom Tucker notices him...
Wow, you're right. There are. Say, you've got a way about you. A certain trustworthy quality. You know, we've got an opening at the station for a senior analyst. I think your white hair would be perfect for it.
Wow, really? What do I do?
You just act like everyone else is an idiot and shout over them. That way you
Shut
can...
up, I get it.
Men, if all it takes to get a job in Quahog is some white hair, I'd better start thinking about relocation soon. Anyway, That was the beginning of Peter's analying career. You see what I did there? Because Peter Griffin was pumping lies and fake stories into the news to get attention. Lois was not happy about it, so Peter promised to quit the lies. But after getting a call from the White House, he changed his mind, and Lois, in turn, changed his status. From head to headless.
Why, sure, I'd love to. We'll get started drawing it right away. Lois, pack your bags. We're joining the Trump administration.
The crazy thing is that was not the only time he had his head snapped by another family member. Someone needs to get this family to see a therapist ASAP, by the way. In the exact same fashion as Lois, Chris rips off Peter's head during one of his sugar overdose episodes.
Chris, can you pass the syrup?
Oh, you want the syrup, old man? Yeah!
That is straight up disturbing no matter how many times you watch it. And it looks like Chris has some kind of obsession with Peter's head because that won't even be the last time. In the episode Hannah Banana, Chris is mad at Peter for being a terrible father.
That's right, Dad. You never ask, and even if you did, you never listen. And now you're getting mad at the monkey because he actually cares? Screw you! You are the worst dad in the world, and I hate you!
So when normal teenagers get mad at the parents, what do? They slam doors, blast music, maybe give the silent treatment for a few days. But Chris Griffin? Nah. He sets up elaborate death traps like he's auditioning for a Saw movie.
Put your head between these two restrained logs and win a free hat. Well, that's a no-brainer.
Come on, you fat do it.
And when you're Peter Griffin and you have a family who is obsessed with killing you, just maybe when they do something nice, like give you a Father's Day gift, you might just take the gift and yourself. That is what they really want.
Oh, look, a tie. Perfect.
It's from all of us.
Try to hide your happiness, Chris. So I guess we have found ourselves in the unaliving section of this video, because Peter Griffin dying does not always mean someone is killing him. Sometimes the man just wakes up and decides, you know what? Today feels like a great day to accidentally or not accidentally kill myself. Just like in the episode Stewie Goes for a Drive. Peter walks into one of Lois' book club meetings, and when she asks him to join them...
Hey, Lois, what's going on here?
Oh, it's my book club, Peter. Come, join us.
Oh, okay.
The fat man snapped his neck. Wait a minute. He has a neck. Who would have thought? And that's not the only time Peter killed himself to get out of doing boring stuff with Lois. Someone needs to give this guy a Husband of the Decade award. Men, in Bend or Blockbuster, Lois noticed how close the Brown family was, and when she thought about her own family, well, as we have already established, they have a thing for murdering one another. So she tries to get them to bond and have some family time, and to do that, she introduces a board game called Eureka. She starts to read out the rules, and they're so long and boring. I mean, long and boring, almost like the game was designed by someone who hates fun.
Card game. Now, the game is euchre. Begin by separating the 9s, 10s, face cards, and aces from the rest of the deck. The goal is to win at least 3 tricks. Now, if the side that fixed the trump fails to get 3 tricks, it is said to be euchred.
Yeah, we are not listening to all that. And neither was Peter, because he shot himself just to make it stop.
However, a lone hand wins 5 tricks. That's worth 4 points. Many euchre games are scored by rubber points, as in whist. The first side to win 2 games wins the rubber.
But when he got to hell...
The dealer has the right to exchange any turned-up card.
Oh my God, it's the same!
If the face-up card is a jack, it's considered bad luck.
After 2 rounds, if no trump suit has been declared...
What in the name of a resurrection was that? You kind of understand why his family's obsessed with killing him, because it is not only Lois he tries to escape by terminating his mortality. In the episode German Guy, Peter is trying to find Chris a hobby, because, you know, it's Chris. His life is sad and all. So they try stamping posts, but Peter could not even last one activity with his beloved son.
Now this is a loaded handgun. And what we're gonna do now is ourselves because this is horrible.
Couldn't we just stop philatling?
Too late.
Alongside his Husband of the Decade award, someone should give that man a Father of the Century award too. He is simply exemplary. But sometimes, what he is trying to run away from isn't his family, but life itself. Because you remember the time he had a wonderful music career? Right? You don't. He had a two-man band. Him and Quagmire. They pulled crowds in their days, but trust Peter Griffin to send that career burning to the ground after he pulled a stunt like this mid-performance.
Come on, I'm gonna just skip right over the strings. Yep, there it goes again. I saw it. I totally saw it.
All right, that's it. We're done. Do you hear me? I quit.
I forgot to mention, he ditched his entire family to pursue that music career. So when everything came crumbling down, he had to return back to his happy home. But you know, who needs all that money and fame when they have a family, right, Peter?
Well, I'm glad to have you back home for Thanksgiving, Peter.
And I'm glad to be here. Let me just grab my stuff off the bus.
Now, one more Peter Griffin, unaliving death, but you might need to pause your brain activity to understand this one. In the episode Fresh Air, Carter gives his entire inheritance to Chris. Yes, Chris, of all people.
That's right, Pumpkin, and I have an important announcement to make. I have decided to change my will and name my grandson Chris the sole heir to the Pewterschmidt fortune.
Oh, my.
Oh no, my hairless twin got out.
So everyone's mad, and Peter tries to be dramatic with his own anger. So he takes his own will and rips it to shreds. The only problem was that the paper he tore was not his will, but his birth certificate. This is your cue to pause all brain activity.
Come on, what are you doing? Listen, Carter, you take me out of your will, I'm taking you out of mine.
Peter, that wasn't your will. That was your birth certificate.
Oh no.
Yep, the fat man tore his birth certificate. Hence, he ceased to exist. Does that count as death? I'm not even sure anymore. Except from unaliving himself, Peter Griffin has managed to take his own life. Wait for it. By mistake. Who kills himself accidentally on multiple occasions? Like in the episode Start Me Up. You know how in the movies when there's a bomb about to explode and the hero has to defuse it? So the timer's ticking down, sweat's dripping down their face, and their hands are shaking as they stare at the red wire and the blue wire. The music builds, the tension is suffocating, and with just 1 second left, they cut the right wire and save the day. Heart-pounding stuff, right? Sorry, I got a little cinematic there. A guy is trying to relive his Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible days. Anyway, the fat man realizes that he has the ability to sweat, so he somehow feels that he can defuse a bomb.
Here.
Now that I sweat all the time, it's just natural that I'd be a very sweaty bomb diffuser. Steady. You can do this. All you gotta do is remember the song you learned in bomb school. Green is good, and green is good, and red is good, and yellow is good, and clip whatever you want.
Now,
Another time the fat man died by his own hands was the time he ate more than half a fudgesicle in one bite. He has never heard of brain freeze? Well, rumors do say that he does not have a brain, but still. Now, I can't really blame Peter for this next one. I mean, back in 2002, when they had just released the movie The Ring, and they kept saying you would die if you watched the cursed video, yet somehow that movie grossed a total of $249.3 million in the box office. So apparently, 250 million people paid money to watch something that would literally kill them in 7 days. So when Peter decides to watch a cursed videotape, he's really just following in the footsteps of millions of Americans who also made terrible life choices for entertainment. Yes, by now we know that Peter finds it a bit difficult to stay alive. But here's the thing. Peter's not content with just endangering himself. Oh no, that would be too simple. This man has a special talent for taking everyone down with him. Case in point. The time Peter accidentally poisoned his entire family with carbon monoxide. Not just himself, the whole family. Because why die alone when you can make it to a group activity? How is that for family bonding, Lois? You know what they say. A family that dies together stays together. So we see Peter Griffin murdered 6 times, he unalives himself 9 times, and had a family bonding activity. Sorry, I mean 1 case of involuntary manslaughter, bringing the total count of the times Peter Griffin has died to 16. He must have more lives than a cat. If you thought this was wild, check out the next video on your screen for something way more crazier.